Everyone wants to get into real estate, but no one knows where to start. There's fix and flips, wholesaling houses, wholesaling land, rentals, commercial, Airbnb, literally dozens of ways to make money in real estate. I have been in multiple real estate models, built them, failed at some, scaled others, and today I'm breaking down every major real estate business model and ranking them in a tier list based on what actually works in 2026, what each one really costs in time and money, and most importantly, which one is right for you. I have profited over $3 million in the real estate business in the last 2.5 years, and I'll tell you with which model at the end. So if you're thinking about getting into real estate this year, this video will save you from making the wrong move. Let's go. Let's go ahead and get this started. So first, right here, we have being a realtor, which I am going to put as the worst. Being a realtor is not really fun or worth it, in my opinion. The only way it's enjoyable or if it compensates you well enough is if you are a top realtor in each market and you have multi-million-dollar listings, which just takes absolute years to get there, and it is just not easy at all. You're doing a ton of cold calling, you're doing a ton of networking, you really have to build your name, build your brand, and no matter how much you work, it doesn't mean you're going to get million-dollar listings. Realtors deal with a lot of BS and they just get a 3% commission on the deal. So in my opinion, being a realtor is not worth your time with all the other models that are in front of you here. I think being a realtor truly is at the bottom. The next worst model I'm going to put on the list is going to be fix and flips. Fixing and flipping houses is probably the biggest headache you'll ever deal with in real estate. A lot more than being a landlord or building houses ground up. These properties that you're buying are in horrible shape and they require a ton of renovations and a ton of work to make them even appealable. The barrier to entry is extremely high because you need a lot of cash. I mean, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 to get into your first flip, and it's just too volatile. You're really taking a house that's already existing, that's already there, and having to have all the pieces to make it perfect and into a brand new desirable house. When instead of flipping it, you could just build it yourself from the ground up and not have to deal with any of those headaches. These fix and flips don't have as much appeal on the market as a new construction home. New construction is a lot easier, and quite frankly, it requires a little bit less cash, believe it or not. So in my books, fix and flip is a skip. My next least favorite model within real estate, coming in at C, is going to be a traditional landlord. What is that going to be? You're buying a piece of real estate and you're putting it up for rent. You are renting it out to tenants. Now, I think it is okay if you're doing multifamily, but if you're doing single family, it is a complete no-go. You buy the house, you have to come out of pocket with thousands of dollars, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to get approved for a mortgage. You have mortgage payments, you have interest fees, you have property taxes, everything. You put a tenant in the property, and even with having a tenant in the property, you're only cash flowing a few $100s a month. Yes, obviously, sometimes the value of these properties will go up, but you're dealing with tenants, you're hoping that it's always rented out, and you're hoping that people are paying on time and taking care of the place. And additionally, to scale a traditional rental real estate business model, you need a lot of money coming in to continue to buy these properties. So we have Section 8 ranked here in B, and I think Section 8 is a pretty good model if you know what you're doing. But keep in mind, it also can come with some headaches, and it comes with needing a lot of money. All these people try to sell you and say, oh, you need only $5,000 to $10,000 to get into your first Section 8. The reality is, after closing costs and slight repairs, even if it's turnkey, you're still going to have to make some minor repairs, usually $3,000 to $5,000 worth. You're all in at about $20,000 to just close on the property. Now, the cool thing about Section 8 is obviously the government is paying the rent, and they do pay a pretty good fair market rent value. But the thing with Section 8 is obviously think about who's going to be renting and living in these properties. Nothing wrong with it, because remember, they have their government Section 8 voucher, which they don't want to lose. So they'll take good care of the property, but there's uncontrollable factors that you really can't always take into account. So Section 8 is good. It's not high cash flow. It takes a lot of money to scale. But remember, you're also dealing with very low quality properties, low risk, and high cash on cash returns. So I'm actually a fan of Section 8. It's something that I myself will start doing when I have $5, $6, $7 million in the bank that I want to deploy into real estate. But I'm not buying or investing into properties. I'm focused on cash flow and building properties. Now, before we reveal the winner, the #1 real estate model of 2026, 26, we have A, and that is going to be Airbnb. I like Airbnb arbitrage. I did it myself. I had about 6 properties. It's great cash flow and higher returns than traditional rentals. It also requires less cash out of pocket because you're not buying these properties, you're rental arbitraging them. So you sign a lease as if you were the renter, the tenant, and then you put it on Airbnb for more money. So for example, the properties I had, I was renting out for around $3,000 per month, and then I could rent them out on Airbnb for $300 per night. You're not gonna rent out 30 nights out of the month every single month, an average of 20 to 22 months, which is around $6,000 a month in rent that you are receiving on a property where you're only paying $3,000 per month. But remember, you're basically like a hotel. You're dealing with people complaining all day. I had to drive out there sometimes at midnight to fix the toilet or fix the AC because obviously your property manager or your handyman isn't doing that at midnight, so you need to be there. All in all, Airbnb is pretty good. You do need thousands of dollars up front to get started with it, but in the end, not bad, better than the other models. Now, for our 2 winners at the top of the list, we have wholesaling houses and we have wholesaling empty land. I have done both. I have made money with both. Let me tell you the pros and cons of each. Wholesaling houses requires a lot of cold calling or a high marketing budget. You're also dealing with flipping a house. Again, you're not buying the house, you're wholesaling it. So you just get a contract on it and then you flip the contract to an end buyer. So basically it's contract flipping. You are a middleman and you get paid a pretty good middleman fee. On average, $5,000 to $20,000 in your pocket. Now, wholesaling houses, again, it is great, but you have to remember this is a house. Typically someone lives in the house or they have it rented out. These properties are normally making the owner money and the house has also gone up in value over the years. So they're not as quick to sell and there's repairs that are required. You have to underwrite the deal and figure out how much those repairs are. You have to take all that into account and make an offer as if you were flipping it yourself like a house flipper, but instead you get it under that price and you flip the contract to an actual house flipper. So it comes with a lot of knowledge. And again, these deals are not as easy to close, right? It is a house. It is somebody's house that they own. You're not going to be doing 30 to 40 deals per month the way you can with empty land. A piece of land is an empty piece of land. There's not much to think about. The owners of these pieces of land bought it years ago. They paid just about nothing for it, or they got it handed down to them from a family member. They're paying property taxes on the piece of land every single year. It's just sitting there and they haven't done anything with it. So obviously they are going to be a lot more keen to sell and quick to sell. There's not much to think about. They're not emotionally attached to it like a house. There's not anybody living there. It doesn't require inspections or repairs. It is an empty piece of land. And also with land, you have a lot more end buyers at your disposal. Home builders are going to be your buyers for pieces of land. They will buy just about as much land as you can bring them. And they'll make it pretty easy for you too. They'll tell you exactly what they're looking for and what they're willing to pay. That's not something you get with houses. You have to underwrite the deal, calculate repairs, and all that good stuff. With land, you do not. Wholesaling vacant land is something that you can really do 10, 20, 30 deals per month with. I do anywhere from 30 to 40 deals per month flipping land. When I was doing houses, I was only able to do 3 to 5 deals per month. And everyone thinks that, oh, you make a larger spread, a larger middleman fee when you're wholesaling houses. That is not the case at all. You can hit 6-figure spreads on an empty piece of land. So all in all, ranking these models from top to bottom, this is as accurate as it gets from someone that actually knows their stuff and is experienced in just about each one of these models. Wholesaling houses and wholesaling land takes the cake. It is the lowest barrier to entry. It doesn't require that much money. Anybody can do it. And it is almost like the gateway drug to all these different real estate models. You wholesale land, you stack up all this capital, then you can invest in Section 8. Then you can start doing new construction. So wholesaling land is the best way to start in real estate for a beginner. Not only can it make you rich, but again, it is your gateway to get into real estate. If land flipping caught your attention and you want to learn how I'm actually doing this, I offer hands-on help where I myself walk you through the entire process step by step, from finding deals, negotiating with sellers, and flipping those deals to builders for a payday. Click the link below in the description and book a call with my team. We will cover just about everything you need to know, from where you're at right now and how we will get you to where you want to be. If this video helped you figure out your path in real estate, drop a comment and let me know which tier list ranking surprised surprised you the most? Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.